Good day, everyone. This is our first topic for GEC 9 Life and Works of Rizal. For today, we are going to discuss the Rizal Law or Public Act 1425. Dr. Jose Protasio Rizal Mercado y Alonso Rialonda or Dr. Jose P. Rizal is known as the first Filipino. Our elementary teachers taught us that Dr. Rizal is our national hero, and prior to this, we know that he is the head on our 1 peso coin. He is a physician, a poet, a dramatist, essayist, novelist, historian, architect, painter, sculptor, educator, surveyor, engineer, farmer, businessman, economist, geographer, cartographer, bibliophile, philologist, grammarian, folklorist, philosopher, translator, inventor, magician, humorist, satirist, polemicist, sportsman, traveler, and prophet. And if you are thinking that these jobs made him a hero, you are wrong. For beyond these things was a loving son to his parents, a good brother to his siblings, a nice man to his friends, and most of all, a serving citizen to his fellow Filipinos. You might be thinking, why do I still need to take a course on Rizal's life if my elementary teachers taught me that he is the national hero of my country, or if my high school teachers let us read his novels Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo? Are those years not enough? And again, here is a subject on Rizal. Even the coin where his face is on cannot pay my tuition fee. So, before you file a petition to the campus administrator or even to the CHED commissioner and argue to them that life and works of Rizal is a waste of time and should not be a required subject in college, let me discuss to you what the law says about Rizal. Rizal Law or Public Act 1425. It mandates all educational institutions in the Philippines to offer courses about the country's national hero, Jose Rizal. Its full name is an act to include in the curricula of all public and private schools, colleges, and universities courses on the life, works, and writings of Jose Rizal, particularly his novels Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo, authorizing the printing and distribution thereof and for other purposes. This Republic Act calls for an increased sense of nationalism from the Filipinos during a time of a dwindling Filipino identity. So, Senator Clara M. Recto was the main proponent of Rizal Bill. Let's first review the process of passing a bill into law. First, a senator or a congressman will sponsor a bill on the Congress. After several readings, if the bill is okay or if the Congress approve it, then they will turn it over to the Senate. And after several readings, if the Senate approve the bill, they will turn over it now to the President, who will sign it and turn it into law. But the process of passing the Rizal Bill into law was not that quite easy. So Senator Clara M. Recto sought to sponsor the bill at Congress. However, this was met with stiff opposition from the Catholic Church. During the 1955 Senate election, the Church charged Recto with being a communist and an anti-Catholic. After Recto was elected as senator, the Church continued to oppose the bill in its mandate reading of Rizal's novels Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo, claiming it would violate freedom of conscience and religion. In the campaign to oppose the Rizal Bill, the Catholic Church urged its adherents to write to their congressmen and senators showing their opposition to the bill. Later, it organized symposiums. In one of these symposiums, Father Jesus Cavana argued that the novels belong to the past and that teaching them would misrepresent current conditions. Radio commentator Jesus Paredes also said that Catholics had the right to refuse to read them as it would endanger their salvation. Groups such as the Catholic Action of the Philippines, the Congregation of the Mission, the Knights of Columbus, and the Catholic Teachers Guild organized opposition to the bill. The Senate Committee on Education sponsored a bill co-written by both Jose P. Laurel and Claro M. Recto, with the oppositions coming from Francisco Soc Rodrigo, Mariano Jesus Cuenco, and Tecroso Rosales. The Archbishop of Manila, Rufino Santos, protested in a pastoral letter that the Catholic students would be affected if compulsory reading of the unexpurgated version were pushed through. The Church is asking to edit some parts of the novels of Rizal and remove passages deemed offensive. Rizal, according to Jesus Cuenco, attacked dogmas, beliefs, and practices of the Church. The assertion that Rizal limited himself to castigating undeserving priests and refrained from criticizing, ridiculing, or putting in doubt dogmas of the Catholic Church is absolutely gratuitous and misleading. Catholic schools threatened to close down if the bill was passed. Recto countered that if that happened, the schools would be nationalized. Recto did not believe the threat, stating that the schools were too profitable to be closed. The schools gave up the threat, but threatened to punish legislators in favor of the law in future elections. Recto declared that the people who would eliminate the books of Rizal from the schools would blot out from our minds the memory of the national hero. This is not a fight against Recto, but a fight against Rizal. On May 12, 1956, a compromise inserted by Committee on Education Chairman Laurel that accommodated the objections of the Catholic Church was approved unanimously. The bill specified that only college students would have the option of reading unexpurgated versions of clerically contested reading material, such as Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo. The law was enacted on June 12, 1956. So let us view the provisions of the Rizal Law or Republic Act 1425. Its Section 1 states that a Rizal course, particularly his novels Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo, shall be included in the curricula of all schools, colleges, and universities, public or private. Committee on Education compromised with the Church that college students only shall read the original or unexpurgated editions of Rizal's novels, meaning those that you have read in your elementary or high school years are already edited, or there are some statements or some parts of the novel that it was erased because it was too much. It was a too much attack to the church. Section 1. The Board of National Education shall promulgate rules and regulations providing for the exemption of students to read Rizal's novels for reasons of religious beliefs. So, students can file a petition to CHED if they would like to be exempted on reading the Rizal but not taking the course. Section 2 states that keeping copies of Rizal's novels and his other works, such as biography, in the library of all schools, colleges, and universities. Unexpurgated editions of the novels as well as its English translations and other writings of Rizal shall be included in the list of approved books for required readings in all public or private schools, colleges, and universities. According to Section 3, the law gives the duties of making translations of Rizal's writings to English, Tagalog, and other Philippine dialects, printing, and free distribution to the Board of National Education. Section 4. Nothing in this Act shall be construed as amendment or repealing Section 927 of the Administrative Code, prohibiting the discussion of religious doctrines by public school teachers and other persons engaged in any public school. So therefore, teachers should never engage their religious affiliations in their teaching. Section 5. The sum of 300 pesos is hereby authorized to be appropriated out of any fund not otherwise appropriated in the National Treasury to carry out the purpose of this Act. We know for a fact that this law was signed in 1956, and the 300,000 pesos then is already a big amount. So for the summary of the discussion, The course Life and Works of Rizal is supported by Republic Act 1425, otherwise known as the Rizal Law. The law was sponsored by then Senator Claro M. Recto and was supported by Jose P. Laurel. Many oppositions filed petitions against the passing of Rizal Bill. The Catholic Church is the primary opponent of the bill, especially the required reading of Rizal's novels, for they believe that these novels belong to the past and will only misrepresent the Catholic priests and church. Finally, after deliberations, that Life of Rizal should also be studied together with the readings of his novels. It was proposed that a student may file a letter rejecting the reading of Rizal's novels for the reason that it might affect his or her religious beliefs. Let's end the discussion by reflecting on a quote by Claro M. Recto. Nationalism is nourished by a sense of history. It is of its essence to know profoundly the past, so that we may be in complete openness with the men who made that history and in intimate communion with their thoughts, their deeds, and their noble lives. Topic 1 done. Thank you. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to PM me.